This is what we call LSGO, and I think that's what you use some of
One of the
these.
small ones, yeah.
Okay, this one is set up with tape on it.
Yep.
This one's set up with a heat shrink on it.
Yep.
Okay, as you can see, when it goes through the shiv, the tape passes through just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now when it comes through with just a heat shrink on it, it binds up.
Yeah.
Okay, once it binds up, if that heat shrink breaks, and it very well could,
Then it
with
would
any
shrink
kind
all the way
of, with any
down.
kind of pull, it's gonna hit that sleeve and it's gonna release the grip.
Okay.
That's the whole
That's-
trick to it,
Man,
man.
that's how you get it on the product. You open these up and then jam that on. That's why people like those, as opposed to that. That's harder to get on the end of a pipe
Yeah.
or a cable than that.
Yeah. So one of the things the guys have actually mentioned, this part, they feel that it can cause a jam in the sheave because it's
Yes.
well open. There's only one other manufacturer in the UK that I've seen which has it's almost like one continuous band round the bottom instead of the 4 tabs. I don't know if you guys have thought of doing that or don't do it for some reason.
A continuous band on the bottom?
Yeah, it's almost like it's one piece around the bottom instead of these 4 individual tabs.
Where
Wouldn't that
they
just
terminate the
constrict
end of
the
the wire?
expansion?
Yeah, where the termination is. I can
I haven't
find the
seen it.
manufacturer and show you.
Never seen one.
Yeah, yeah, I'll bring it up online and show you. how it
But
works.
99.9% of the time that a snake is gonna release, a cable's gonna come out,
Because of,
it's gonna come out from it being released and not being pulled.
okay,
I mean, yes, you can pull it out. I'm not saying you can't pull it out. It does happen.
Yep.
We do it on testing, but the majority of the time it's gonna be right here, it's gonna hang up.
yep. And then that opens up this strand.
Right, and then whenever the
Yes.
sleeves, and here's one of the issues, is these shivs that they're building now are smaller.
Yeah,
And that's what, we even run into it to where some of them won't even, they won't even pass through with just
Yeah,
a
with
tape
just
on
the
it
tape,
and a
yeah.
band. But this right here, and you can see from this side, that thing's gonna hang up on it.
yeah, and it also creates that sort of bigger air gap, doesn't it? That if it slices right through there, then
And on a standard LSG that you got a swivel in the middle and a grip on each end, you've got this situation
twice.
on both ends of the grip, on
Yeah.
both ends of your cable.
Yeah, I mean the trailing end should hopefully not have this opening up from this direction.
And this is set up, this is a 3/4 inch line, just like what you all was using. And this is set up with, this is the end, this end right here. No, this is the other end, I'm sorry. But this is banded twice, and
Yep.
you can see how we
Yeah, the
taped
profile.
and made a kind of a ramp up to the size of the grip. Okay, on this end, it's just a heat shrink only, and it doesn't pull these sleeves down all the way.
Let me zoom in on that, Lynn, to show
And,
that's really a point that
and
if you were to do a safety,
if you would, when you tape that, you can hold the ends down and get it down smaller. And that's what the issue will be with the heat shrink. But like I say, you can go over and pull this, and the heat shrink will hold it.
Yep.
But it's when it's released. And the sad thing is, it doesn't matter how many times you do it, when it's released, it's gonna hit something. It's
Yeah.
gonna hit a shiv, it's gonna hit the frame of the derrick, or something.
Yeah, you can see quite clearly there the difference.
so that's basically why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to take some pictures, Andy, but I
Yeah,
guess
please do.
Just maybe just let you do it with a better camera than my cell phone.
Okay, well, this video, we'll send you a copy of this video.
That's perfect. Yeah, and just some
And any,
close-ups if we could.
yeah, any shots would be, we'll do that for you, and that'll be great for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And, I don't know what you all get, what you pay for heat shrink, but a roll of electrical
Yeah.
tape is nothing. And what I recommend is use plenty of tape, especially between the end of the grip and the cable,
Yeah.
where you're kind of ramping it up. But that, like I say, that right there, that's what creates it, and that's why the heat shrink won't work. And it's the same way on this one, you can see
Yeah.
that it didn't pull it down. And if you put tape around that, you can pull it down tight,
Yeah, and there's not even any point
quite
really,
a bit smaller,
if you tape it up and then heat
yeah.
shrink it, that'd be a,
That thing's gonna
But
release.
see, that's what happens right there. And, I mean, when they're pulling on it with the winch,
yeah,
I mean,
it's a bit more than just,
it's gonna come out.
That was really smooth with the tape.
Even going the other way.
And see, another thing that happens is if it's, and this is what H&P was having problem with, it would get hung inside the
yep,
shiv, and then they'd jerk on it backwards, and when they jerked on it,
yeah, the wire's coming out.
here it comes.
Yeah.
So what, are you all out in the sea?
Yeah,
What sea are you
everyone.
everywhere? Yeah, I was kind of looking at your website and looking at all your drill ships and stuff.
Yeah, right now we're just getting back up to speed.
Good,
Quite a lot of the floater market now is quite hot. So we're doing a lot of work in South America at the moment.
Maybe it's a little warmer.
Yeah, right now I've just been down in Aruba. That was quite nice. But yeah, these are used on all the rigs.
Yeah.
The only snake that we don't use, which isn't Lewis, is part of our NOV cranes, where they actually have a snake to terminate the main hoist winch. And the reason we don't use Lewis is just because of the length you need and the end terminal, the termination.
Fantastic. I mean, the tape was very little of the tape was worn.
Go into that thickness of that tape, Lynn, a little bit. Describe that.
It's, the layers of the tape adds up to around 1/8 of an inch, maybe even a little thicker than that. And it just builds a ramp up to the size of the grip, the OD of the grip. And mainly on the wear that we encountered was over the clamps. But there again, I mean, it still didn't wear it completely off. And we've had,
Abandoned as a fail-safe rather than just that's the last way to apply the snake, or that's the means of applying the snake. So that's really quite important when you're looking at changing it, right?
It's the fail-safe.
Yeah, you're removing a physical barrier.
That's correct.
Yeah, instead of just, as we were looking at it, a form of, applying it. More of a, initially myself as well would have looked at it more as not aesthetics really, but as you guys have mentioned, as a physical part of the tool.
This
Shrink
would
wrap looks
definitely
nice.
be easier, and faster, but, for safety concerns.
you can look at this. This is the same style of heat
Let
shrink,
me get on with the camera, Lynn. Okay.
but it's not near as thick.
Yeah. Yeah, and it still creates that edge, right?
If it gets caught on that edge, it's gonna yank it like a Chinese finger trap and just.
And also with these edges on these sleeves, that's gonna cut into it.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, if it cuts into this tape, at least you've got quite a few layers for it to have to cut through.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very true.